Alright, we're back with round 3. Um, we are going to play first, as always, and keep in the hand. It's got early drop, everything else 4 and above, but we're probably going to get there, and Doom Traveler can buy a lot of time. Alright, now we get to see what our opponent is playing. So, white, Doom Traveler. Pretty similar starts, I might say. Alright, I'm going to offer the trade. Basically, I mean, I'm a turn ahead in the race if we're racing, and then I'm happy to trade into tokens, because technically my tokens could probably be better than his. So he's green-white, and this is, you know, pretty much the deck. Probably most drafted, probably best deck. So, not surprised to see it in the finals. And we haven't gotten anything else besides land. Kind of doing okay here. We can trade our Doom Travelers, but the problem is his guy flips since we have no play. And based on the cards in our hand, we're probably not flipping him back. So we got a clock on us here. 3 damage a turn is not a small amount. I don't take the trade. Probably because I just figured that I might need to chump a larger amount of damage at some point. Glad to see that there. Since he's green-white, I figure I'd rather play the 5/1 that can block and kill something, because I'm not... I mean, I could fear pacifism, or whatever you call it, bonds of faith, but I don't think it's quite worth it. Here, I'd just decide that, you know, I gotta stop taking 4 a turn. But yeah, if I had played the Mausoleum Guard, he could have attacked him with the 2/3 instead of the 1/1, and that would have been a lot worse. But that's a bummer. Now he's got himself a 5/5 Trampler, and here, thinking about what the best course of action is. I think I do play the Monk. Maybe not. So I decided to attack with my Spirit, I guess, because I'm going to play the 3/3 that can just block his Spirit. I'm going to take a ton of damage. Or I can block his Spirit or his 2/3. It makes it so both of those can't attack, so he's only attacking me for 8. But that still brings me to 4, which is very, very close to dead. But having an extra guy out for when I drop my Geisthunter Monk is going to be a big deal, because it'll be a 6/6 instead of a 5/5, which would just trade with the boar instead of killing the boar and surviving. Still have to figure out a way to cast 2 spells at once. Hopefully I draw a 2-mana spell at some point so I can do that. Otherwise, I'm just pretty much dying to this guy here. So I'm going to trade here. I take damage, but it's probably fine. I mean, his card was definitely better than mine, so I'm happy to trade. Of course he has another one, but that's okay. So we have Cage Breakers we can't cast, which is a bummer, but oh well. Got a Monk. We can trade with his 5/5, which is nice. But yeah, he came out swinging pretty hard this game, with a second turn Shepherd. So definitely a difficult one to win here. Gonna attack with my 3/3 here because I can triple block the 2/3 with the 3 spirits, and he can actually only kill one of the spirits. So I'm alright with doing that. So he's not even going to attack with the 2/3. So I'll just trade with the 5/5, take 3, go to 2, and be dead next turn unless I draw something to deal with it. Hoping to draw a 2-mana spell here. And hoping that he doesn't play anything as well. So Doom Traveler, out of the things that he could have played, that's probably the least of my worries, so that's nice. I draw Shimmering Grotto and think the game is over, and then immediately go, oh, wait a second. I can cast my Cage Breakers, which means I have a green creature. A green creature that can block his intimidated green creature. Yeah, I mean, when I was about to concede there, I was just thinking that 3/3 is unblockable for my deck no matter what. And then I just remembered that, oh yeah, Cage Breakers is a green guy. And even better, he's a 3/4, which blocks a 3/3 and survives. Pretty cool. So here I attack with a 3 again. I think... Actually, that would be wrong if I did it. Right? I'd have to chump with a bunch of guys. Oh, I guess I did that. Yeah, I mean, if he attacked all out here, I would have to chump with my spirit on his 2/3, which doesn't seem great. I think I would have preferred to just attack with a spirit there. Instead of getting in the 3, I just get in the 1 damage. Seems fine to me. That way he has no attacks, basically. But I decided to get ballsy, I guess. Seems wrong. But, you know, sometimes you disagree with yourself later. The tree is a little bit annoying, but not that bad. Basically, he just gained 13 life, which, or not quite 13, but around 13 life, like 10 life, which is frustrating, but doesn't actually matter all that much. I was really happy that he didn't attack all out there, because, or I guess he doesn't want to in case he draws a removal spell for my green guy, but at this point I don't see a removal spell that he could possibly have. I mean, if his villagers flip, it's somewhat of a problem for me, because I'll have to trade basically with my 3/3, and then I'll have no pressure on him. Well, I guess I would first chump block with my Mausoleum Guard, because I'd love to have more 1/2 flying spirits. And if I ever draw an Intangible Virtue, I'm in the driver's seat for sure. Really happy that my Cage Breakers is a human right now, because most of the cards in green-white that can deal with creatures do not deal with humans. But I'm hanging on by a thread. Hamlet Captain is fine. I mean, we have enough blockers for his guys. Right here, he's just turning his Doom Traveler into a 1/1 flyer. Don't think that was correct at all. I mean, especially since I'd probably just rather have the human on the ground, seeing as he just played a Hamlet Captain. Because human is lethal. 1/1 human is lethal when it attacks with Hamlet Captain, where the 1/1 spirit in the air is not. But, well. So this is real big for me. this makes it so, you know, if he attacks all out and doesn't actually kill me, I just get to go real big and become, I don't know, much more life. Become much more life. I can't talk. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm thinking about whether or not to attack with more than just the 3/3 this turn, since I'm dropping the 2/2 flyer. I don't know what I decide. I think it would be correct to only attack with the 3/3 though, just to be on the safe side here. And this way, if he has a like, the reason I play it before I attack is if he has a rebuke, then I gain a life, which definitely matters at this point. But he doesn't have a rebuke, or he doesn't want to use it anyway. I mean, at this point, he's not really at 6 because of that tree. If I had a way to deal with it at instant speed, that would be pretty awesome, because if they try to activate it and you kill it, the switch never happens. And I think because of that fact, the way to play with tree, the smart way, is once your life goes below the toughness of the tree, to swap it at the opponent's end step, because that way, you know, if you're just waiting till the last moment where, okay, that last moment where I need to switch and I gain 13 or whatever, and they have the instant speed removal, you just die. So if you're like slowly kind of gaining a couple life a turn, that's a lot better for you. But it doesn't end up mattering against my deck. I don't believe I have an instant speed removal for the tree. I have no Victim of Night, I don't think. So here he either has to chump or switch the life totals, and so he will be at a... he will be not gaining any more life off his tree, pretty much. So that would be pretty nice. Yeah, I did think about attacking with everything there. Because he would have had to do a lot of chumping, and I would have got a lot of good stuff happening with my Falcon Wrath. It's a good thing I didn't, though, because he dropped a Midnight Haunting at the end of turn. So this is not that big of a deal for me. Sorry about that, I had to pause the recording. I don't know where I was in my train of thought. But wherever I was, I'm not there anymore. So, yeah. He gets to flip his guy, because he cast 2 spells, or his guy, because he cast 2 spells, which is always nice for me. Makes it so I don't have to fear him killing my... Yeah, see... yeah, he got me with the tap. Close game, though. Looking at a second virtue here, because I really wanted it that game. But I just don't think it's gonna be worth bringing in. Thinking about taking him out for it. Not the Traveler, obviously. Green-white can definitely have spirits, but I didn't... besides the tokens, I didn't really run into any. Alright, would like to play first. This hand's fine. It's basically 3 lands since I have the Traveler's Amulet. And I get to see... Alright, get early removal spell here. Don't even have to search up for the forest, but I do have to search up for the plains, because I don't have one yet. And even if I did, I'd probably grab plains before a second swamp. So the turn 1 Doom Traveler, same as last game. He has a lot of, I think, laggy moments throughout these games. There's a lot of pausing at this step. Definitely want a second swamp now, but I can't go grab it because I need a plains more importantly. But hopefully I'll draw into that second swamp. But yeah, once I get Intangible Virtue out and get Mono the Unhallowed going, it's a beating. Looking forward to that. Alright, he has the exact same start as last time. Luckily this time we have the removal spell for his Shepherd, which we will definitely play and get our Intangible Virtue out there. So next turn, if we draw a swamp, we have 2/3/3 Vigilance, and that is a big game. If we draw any other land, we have a Chapelgeist. And if we draw nothing, oh, he's got the second Shepherd, which is annoying. If we draw nothing, we're pretty effed. Because we can't play anything, and he gets flipped as a Werewolf. But there are some spells we could draw that we could play right now. Plenty of spells that we could draw and not play, though. Which is not what we're looking for. And the lag continues. Looking at the Shepherd, looking at the Traveler, we're wasting time. Yeah. It's fun. Yep, there's one of those cards we can't play. The good news is that once we get up to 5 mana, we can at least block his Intimidate guy. So that's something, right? If we brick again this turn, we're pretty much really screwed. We're going to be on the back foot the rest of the game. If we don't, we're going to be doing okay. We're taking 3 next turn no matter what. But here we get to play a Chapelgeist, which is nice. So now he can't attack with anything but the Howler. Unless he does that, then he could attack. And he will. He'll bring us to 8 here. I'm pretty okay with this, because if I draw any land, I can block either of those guys. And then he's kind of wasted bonds. Truthfully, if I was him, I probably would have just bombed the Chapel Geist and attacked for one less. So I got the land. Now the question is, would I rather play the 3/4 that can block either guy, or 2 3/3s that could block one of the guys? Decided to go with the 3/4 because I'd rather just completely stop his attack. I mean, he definitely can attack me and deal me 3 here, but he has to throw away a guy. If I did the other way around, he could still attack me for 3, and I wouldn't be able to block. Going to 5, and prefer to keep my life total as high as possible here. Of course, if he has removal for my guy, I'm just boned. But gonna assume he does not, since he did not last time. He could tap both my guys right now and get in for 7, which would be pretty bad for me, but I might be able to stabilize off of it still. But he doesn't. He skips his attack, which is exactly what I wanted. And now I get to go off. So here I get my 2 3/3 vigilant creatures. When I draw a land, I get to draw 2 cards, get 2 2/2 vigilant flying spirits, as well as flip his werewolf back. And giving some fodder in my graveyard for when the cage breakers attack. And yeah, pretty good. Here he can... Okay, Bellringer doesn't actually do anything, so I'm fine with that. Yeah, he could have like rebuked or something, but not a big deal if he does. Don't really need the 2/3 all that badly. So now, I mean, basically how he wins this is travel preparations, which we didn't see last game, and I mean, if he had it this time, he would have slammed it immediately. So we're looking okay here. Yeah, I mean, the power of green-white really comes from that card, and although his deck's fine, like he has double Shepherd, which is excellent, and some other decent cards. Like, he doesn't have the prep, or at least we haven't seen it, and since he doesn't have that, then it doesn't matter all that much. Here we still get to cast 2 spells, which is nice because we drew the Doom Traveler, so we get to flip this guy. And here I'm cool with attacking with my 2 vigilant guys, because he could trade his guys for them, but I'm totally fine with that. I mean, it would grow his Unruly Mob, but that's fine. So he's just gonna take 3, which is good. Good. So now I also have the trick of Alter's Reap in my hand, to where if he thinks he can get in because I don't have enough creatures, I can just Alter's Reap and get 2 more. Or I guess 1 more, because I've got to kill a creature to get 2, but... Land is fine. I am looking to... Here I'm attacking with the Doom Traveler because it's a free 1 damage. He's not going to block it. And I don't need to block anything myself right now. 1 more mana and I get another 2 3/3s, which is pretty big. I was pretty amazed by this. Yeah. Him blocking the... my Doom Traveler with his Doom Traveler is just so very wrong. I mean, he turned his Unruly Mob into a 3/3 by doing this. But he gave me a 2/2 flyer, which is awesome for me. Because he has no flyers himself. And it's vigilant, of course. Yeah, it was one of those things where in the spoiler I remember reading Intangible Virtue and thinking, giving vigilance to tokens seems really stupid, because they're all small, and who cares if your small guys have vigilance. But in this set, it really matters. Like, the 3/3s are big enough on the ground to where vigilance is important, and the 2/2s in the air, it's really nice to keep them back because there's a lot of 2 toughness flyers in the format. So it's surprisingly relevant, the vigilance on Intangible Virtue. Here he's lagging again. And I think this turn I might just play the Altar's Reap just so he doesn't flip his werewolves. Can't remember. I also might just play the Ghoul Razor. Because it's not necessarily getting any better here. Or I just passed. I guess I figured I could flip him back if I needed to with my 2 spells in hand. And he doesn't really have a good attack. I mean, if he attacks with the 4/6, I can triple block it and kill it, and he only gets to kill one of my guys. Obviously, if he attacks with the 3/3 Intimidate, I get to block and kill it. Spirits can't attack because my flyers are bigger. Everything's all good. So he plays a boar. I think I reap here to get more flyers on the board and get more pressure on him. Because I can attack with 3 flyers vigilantly. And I get a couple cards for my troubles. Not good cards, but they're cards. That's a good card, though. Here I can either flash back the Moan or play 2 guys. I'm going to play 2 because bonuses, it flips the werewolves. I played the Warden before combat because it makes my spirits into 2/3s, so you can't actually double block one and kill it. Here I attack with a 3/3 Vigilance, which is completely incorrect because he has a 4/6 out. Yeah, that just makes absolutely no sense, and I just forgot that his werewolves weren't flipped yet. But oh well, I lose my 3/3 like a moron, and luckily it does not cost me the game. So yeah, I mean, I'm matching him. Like, he has 1 more creature than me right now that he can attack with, but it just has 1 power. I'm at 8 life, he's at 7. Like, he's in big trouble here. Do you think the concession comes soon? Well, he's got the blue, so he could tap 4 creatures if he has the tap. And if he taps 4, does he get in for lethal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He does not get in for lethal if he taps 4 creatures. So this is pretty much game here. And waiting on him, waiting on him. I thought that was a very random card to be splashing here. But, you know, to each his own. I get to attack with pretty much everything because I get to make 2 3/3s this turn. Don't know how many creatures in my graveyard. I don't think enough. So he does have the tap here. So he gets to survive the turn. But because I have the 2 3/3s in the graveyard, there's no way he's winning this game through tapping my guys. Play the Ghoul Raiser here. I think that's just wrong. I'm guessing that I just kind of have forgotten about the Moan at this point. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. But he conceded. Alright, submitting and on to game 3. Round 3. And we start with a somewhat similar hand to last time in that we have one of each colored land basically, and but this time we have a good 2-drop, so looking a little better. We also have the forest for the Cage Breakers. Cage Breakers have not attacked this time yet, this draft, and they have threatened to attack, but most of the times where I've gotten him out, he was just sitting there holding up to block a 3/3 Intimidate, which is, you know, did something good, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, here the danger of this card against white is that once you flip it, it's no longer a human, and really should be wary of flipping it, because they put a bonds on your 3/3 that deals you damage a turn, and then you got a curse of the fancy mustache on you for the rest of the game. So there's his one of his shepherds. Didn't have him last turn, so that's good for us, I guess, that he didn't have it. But so here I can flip to a 3/3. And start kind of getting aggressive. I have a Moan in my hand, and I can cast it on turn 4. And I have a deadweight to get rid of his 2/2, so I think I'm going to get aggressive here. But there is nothing wrong with waiting on flipping the Cloistered Youth. It's pretty rare that you wait, but, you know, it's better, sometimes it's better to just have the 1/1 than the 3/3 that damages you. And you can never turn it off once you turn it on, so just remember that. And this is fine here. I mean, for him spending a really good removal spell on one of my worst creatures against him feels pretty good. Like, I would have been more unhappy if he had just killed the zombie with it, because for one thing I couldn't have gotten it back, and another, they don't deal me any damage. Yeah, he even has the Tree of Life here, so, or the Tree of, I forget what it's called. Screen's small for me, so I can't actually read it, but that Fiend Hunter thing makes no sense if he had that in his hand, because he could have happily taken another 3 and then dropped that to where it just blanks my 3/3 and I'm taking a damage a turn for it, and he has like game 13 waiting on the bench or whatever, and yeah, it seems a little weird for him to be doing what he did there. But yeah, he just conceded. I don't know why. The game was definitely not over, but he conceded. I get 8 packs, and we didn't really get a third game, but we were definitely, I think, in control of that one. So